All right. BlaKBoXXRadio. I'm so excited, guys. I can't even get myself together. This is my Young, Gifted, and Black series, and I have a special guest tonight. And I'm just excited to have her. We're going to get to her. So I'm going to introduce myself, and then we're going to move on to what we're going to talk about tonight. I am Queen. I am a host at BlaKBoXX Radio. We are a media platform for Black excellence. We platform Black people. We expose Black genius. We disseminate information from the community, and to other communities. But more than anything, we humanize the experience of being Black in America. It can only come from Black folk because we're the only one living this thing, and it's a beautiful thing. It got some issues. Let's be clear. It's not an easy road, but it's a beautiful road, and God only gives His greatest warriors what they can handle. So that's what we are. We are in a series that I started for young, talented people who are just pushing in the doors, is creating space for themselves. And I have one tonight, y'all. I got one tonight. She said to me, she's not no youth, but she's a damn youth to me. So this is our Young, Gifted, and Black series. And we have, I'm going to say Dr. Eziaku.
Yes, you're almost perfect. It's Eziaku.
Eziaku. And what's the last name? Ogbonna?
Yes, perfect. Yes.
Oh, look at me showing out with my African tongue.
Okay.
That's that evil tongue. Sure.
Yes,
yes, you better get it right. So we'll call you Dr. OG because I'm not, my tongue, it gets lax as I keep talking. So we're going to slow that.
Okay, yeah.
We're going to stay at Dr. OG. I want you to tell the people a little bit about yourself so we can kind of get acclimated in just about you. So just tell us about you. Who is EO? G.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Ezi or Eziaku. I'm originally from Nigeria, West Africa. I'm an immigrant. I migrated here when I was 7, and then eventually went to school and everything. I went to Morgan undergrad, majored in chemistry, and then I went on to University of Maryland School of Pharmacy, where I did a dual degree program in getting my doctorate and MBA. And then after I became a pharmacist, I went on and got a board certification in pharmacotherapy. But I always loved a more holistic approach to health and wellness. So during pharmacy school, I took electives that focus on complementary and alternative medicine. And I really liked that. So I just went ahead and just followed my dreams after all of that, like all of 11 years of school. I just started studying on my own, learning about herbs. And then I ended up working at a farm. And that's where, that's how I met Queen, and because I started Ioni Wellness, and where I integrate health and wellness products with using my background in chemistry, pharmacy, and herbalism. And that's how we met. And that's where I am. That's how I'm here to meet you guys today. I'm really excited. And yeah, that's pretty much me. And then that's the professional side. More of the personal side, I'm a mom of 2. Ooh. And yeah, I enjoy traveling, hiking, and just being out in nature. I really like being outside, and as you can see from my background, I really enjoy reading. So I'm pretty much a nerd. That's just me.
Well, you don't look like a nerd. You don't look like a nerd. And like I told you, you started with bricks and now you got books. So I love that about you.
Yes.
I definitely love that. So you went to school for how long? I mean, whoa.
Yeah,
how long did you go to school?
I'm triggered. So when I did my undergrad in chemistry, I didn't finish because I got into pharmacy school early. So I got into, I don't even know if they do that anymore, but I got into pharmacy school in my 3rd year of chemistry in Morgan. So I didn't have to finish chemistry. So I only did 3 years of undergrad, 4 years of grad school. And then, I forgot about my MBA. I also have an MBA. No, I think I included that. And then and it was a dual degree program. So it kind of overlapped with my doctorate. So I didn't have to go through that much. So I'll just say 5 years of pharmacy school, including the 1 extra year of the MBA. And yeah, that's it. Really, because I accelerated it.
Wait a minute, so you listen, I couldn't accelerate out of Morgan. So you accelerated out of the science department and went to where? Where'd you go? To University of Maryland Pharmacy School? Where'd you go?
Yeah, I went to University of Maryland in Baltimore, yeah.
So you went to Baltimore, okay. So you went to I've never heard that. I didn't know that they would take you in undergrad. I thought you had to have the 4 year.
Yeah, I don't know if they do it anymore because I guess you have to test out or something, or
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they do it anymore, but I doubt they do it. And even then, they didn't do it as much. But I guess I got lucky, so I
Yeah,
ended up
yeah.
going. Yeah, I
It
wanted
is.
to finish chemistry, but I was like, well, what was my final goal? My final goal is to be a pharmacist. So if I can get into pharmacy school, I'm just gonna keep going and not get a like an undergrad degree. So instead of I don't have a BA. I don't have a B like a bachelor's,
Yes. So you
but
don't
I
have
have
a
a
BS, but you
master's.
got a PhD. I love
Right.
it. Wow. I want to be like you when I grow up.
Oh Lord.
That is amazing. Okay, so you undergrad chemistry and you went to pharmacy school. Do
Yeah.
you love do you like chemicals? Do you like pharmacy? I
Yeah,
mean,
that's what interested me talking to you because you knew your stuff, and I was like,
yeah.
we can talk about this stuff. I can talk about this stuff all day, and then to see someone who really knows their stuff too, because I know you have you have
Yeah, chemistry is my minor. Exactly. I have a
exactly.
BS in medical technology and minor in chemistry. Yep.
See, like you know your stuff, so like that's like I do like I'm just a student of life, and I'm ever curious about everything. So I always like growing up, I always ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to science, I really like science because I like to look under the hood per se to see what's going on, how things work. So yeah, I enjoy it. I can talk about it all day, like how
Mm-hmm.
things work and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah, so yeah, I like what I did.
That's amazing because I like chemistry, but I don't like chemicals.
Ah,
I do not like the application on health. I don't like.
okay,
I
yeah,
think that
yeah.
we have to use the body is such a biological process. It has a chemical element, but it definitely has a biological element. And I think a lot of
Mhm.
times we go straight to the street treating through chemistry and
Yeah.
using, and I think that biological element is lost sometimes.
Mhm.
And and that's where the holistic comes in, and different energies, different modalities.
Mhm.
And what I loved when I met you is that's what you are. You're like
That's
Miss
it.
Chemistry and then Miss Plant. And
Right,
yes,
right.
so I love that, that perfect marriage, you
And
know.
that's what I wanted. Yeah, you're right. I like me too. Okay, so I never took medicine. Like even though I'm a pharmacist, I don't like taking medicine. Like so for
Me neither.
yeah, I like to approach things from the root cause. Like for example, if you have a headache, and this is the reason why I can get on my soapbox, but because the way my license is set up, I can't really talk too much about a lot of things I wanted to
I
really
don't
want
want you
to talk
to mess with your license.
about. And I'll save that till for when I actually make a difference.
Okay.
But like what I was saying, like let's use a headache for example. If you have a headache, you don't me per se as a professional, I won't run immediately to ibuprofen or Tylenol. I will ask myself, why do I have the headache? Am I dehydrated? Do I need to drink water? Is it my blood pressure okay? Because a headache is a messenger, it's telling you something.
Yeah,
So
actually
basically,
is.
you
Yep.
taking ibuprofen right away is like saying, "Shut up, stop talking to me," right?
Yeah. It's like giving your body the cell phone. Play a
Right.
game. Shut up. But
Like,
you either hungry, something is not there.
right. It's
You
the
know.
headache is a messenger. It's not like, the
Hmm.
root cause is what the headache is trying to tell you. So once I figured that I'm not like against drugs per se, but I don't think drugs should be first line. And in certain cases, they have to be, but like the stuff like what your body is telling you, you know your body best. You just
Hmm.
trying to find out. Maybe it does want medicine, but you just try to take the time to be present and try to find that out first.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
And
my
that's true. And I think in our mindsets, medicine, since it's been so presented and so readily available, that it's
Mhm.
regular for us to medicate. But
Right.
understand years ago, there was no medicine.
Oh, I was
They
about to
had to
say.
find root cause, boo boo.
Mhm. Like
that's
the real root cause, like
the root cause, because
yes.
it wasn't a chemical movement that we see
Mhm.
now. And that is
Mhm.
so now. And not only is it a chemical movement, it's so lucrative.
Yes.
We have to understand the when things are presented to us in this country, it belies in it being lucrative,
Mhm.
and and it's easier to treat that way. But the
Mhm.
root cause is how you solve the issue. You,
Mhm.
you know,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
that's wasn't available years ago. They had to go to that root cause.
Exactly. Like for even example, even going all the way back to our ancestors, we can
Yep.
talk about the Egyptians and how they used meadow sweet, and that has a salicylic acid in it, and
Yes.
they use that for headaches and pain and things like that, and that's where acetylsalicylic acid aspirin came from. You know, aspirin, like if you break down the word, it goes ties right back to meadow sweet. So like technically speaking, medicine that we know of, like as far as Western medicine goes, is pretty young and pretty new compared
Very
to like
young.
herbalism and everything. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
so you made yeah.
But we have to look at that. It's just like the Bible. The Bible is a newer book when you go back to Torah and you move into the older books. It's just like that's what
Mm-hmm.
medicine is. That's what Western medicine is.
Mm-hmm.
It is the newest movement of treatment.
Mm-hmm.
There was so much more
Mm-hmm.
before because no one had chemicals. No one had this movement that there was no aspirin.
Mm-hmm.
That is a patent that has been patented.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no aspirin. you know, um,
Right.
so, but we don't want to move into your license. We're gonna move away from that conversation. I just want,
Thank
I
you.
just want to talk about it. Yeah. We're gonna move away because I understand. I totally understand. We work. We got to work outside of these conversations. So it's very, but it's a very important to tell the people that listen to your body,
Mm-hmm.
know your body, and give your body things that are electric. That's what I can. That's what, plants,
Mm-hmm.
water,
Mm-hmm.
things that you can build upon.
Mm-hmm.
Dead food and dead ingredients, sugar. These ingredients they're the bane of disease. When
Mm-hmm.
once you get inflamed and acidic, here they come.
Mm-hmm.
And if I tell folks, Dr. O, if you go into any cancer ward, you go into any sick ward, what they got a mucus pump.
Mm-hmm.
Because mucus is present in disease.
Yeah.
It is always present.
It is. That's
It
part of
is.
it. The body's yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. If you are eating something and it's not, and then you start spitting, you're
Mm-hmm.
not cold. Something you ate has inflamed something, your stomach lining or something. So that mucosal layer is everywhere. But we're
Yeah.
getting out of that. This is not a health conversation. This is a young, gifted, and Black conversation. So listen, I love that you've invested in yourself, and then now what I want to talk about more than anything is these products. You volunteer at a farm. You're a
Yeah.
farm girl. So tell us a little bit about that.
All right, so like I was mentioning earlier, like I really like to be outside a lot. So and I really like plants and herbs. So what I did was pretty much manifested this farm because I was looking for an organic herbal farm because I want to work with herbs, and plant energies that way.
Okay.
And I found a place in Frederick called Fox Haven, and it's an awesome place. Like I have a really really nice mentor, Lacey. She's amazing, and she's like so humble. She's amazing, and like she's teaching me more about I volunteered last year as a fall intern, and I'm back this year as a spring intern to complete the life cycle, because in the spring we plant, in the fall we harvest.
Yes.
So I kind of want to see plants from a more, like, I want my hands in the dirt instead of reading in a book. There's like a difference when your hands are in the dirt. You see things so differently, and yeah, so I really enjoy it. And that's where I get the knowledge, and in addition to books and my professional background, I use that knowledge to make the formulations behind my products. So, yeah, my products are really mindfully and intentionally done, like even down to the names. Oh yeah, fun fact about me: I used to rap, and that's how I passed pharmacy school.
Oh, wait.
Girl.
You done started something. That ain't
Yeah,
a fun fact. I want to see that. You used to rap? Oh my God. Rapping
Yeah.
pharmacist. I love it.
Yes, trap music helped me pass grad school. Absolutely, trap music. Yeah, that's
Tell
how
me
I
about
remember
that.
stuff.
Tell me
So
about
okay, so in pharmacy, and like there's a lot of information. We're inundated with a lot of information, and the way I learn things, because low key, high key, like I'm actually dyslexic. Feel like I have a little bit of dyslexia, so I learn differently from like I'm neurodivergent in a way. So the way I learn things is by I tie it to something like a mnemonic. Like, okay, for example, gentamicin is a drug that causes the bacteria to either freeze it in place or kill it. So if bacteria is static, like it freezes it in place, or it kills it, like cyto, like homicide, cyto. So the reason why I remember it, because I think that it's a gangster and a gentleman. Gentamicin is a gangster and a gentleman. So like
A play on words. I
Right.
love it.
Right. It could be a gangster and kill the bacteria, or be a gentleman and freeze it in place. So it's like, so when I think of gentamicin, I think of ladies and gentamicin. So that's how I think about stuff, like, and I
I
make,
love it.
yeah, that's how I make, I used to make songs to learn like little, and I still remember these songs, like, and
Okay,
that's
we're
how.
gonna do one. Oh, don't worry, we're gonna do one. Oh yeah, we're gonna wrap that out. But what about like vancomycin? How you
Oh,
learn it?
okay. So
Yeah.
vancomycin, all I know, okay, let me give you a fun fact about vancomycin. Vancomycin is huge. Like it's a
Huge.
really big molecule.
Yep.
And it's like it can't, like, okay, there's this thing called C. diff. Like when you take too many antibacterial biotics. Yes,
Clostridium difficile.
yes.
Yeah,
Clostridium difficile, and it's difficile because it's difficult to treat.
it's
That's like,
difficult to treat.
right. That's how when you think like difficile, like French for difficult. So then like, so you can't, the vancomycin is so huge that if you want to treat C. diff, C. diff makes you poop a lot, like, and it's explosive diarrhea that stinks. So you want to treat it where the cause is. So you're not gonna get an IV vancomycin because the molecule is so big. So you got to take it by mouth so it can hit your colon and your digestive tract. So when you think of vancomycin, just think it's like vank. It's so huge. It's a huge molecular
Like a
structure.
big van.
Yeah, like a big van, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how
yeah,
I
yeah. That's how I remember that.
yes, it's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah. So
Yeah.
when I wanted, don't make this is not school. I start throwing them out at you, but, but I wanted to hear that. But wow, and C. diff is nasty. That's a nasty bug.
Nasty, yes. And
Yeah,
it
that's a
smells bad.
nasty.
You will know.
You're gonna know. Your life is gonna be terrible.
Yes.
Y'all remember that. If you ever see C. diff, your butt is on fire.
It's like Game of Thrones. Dracarys.
Real talk. This is real talk. So you are so now you're saying, so in the fall is where you plant, and then the spring is where it flowers.
Well, it depends. Like, okay, just like
Depends on what you're planting.
exactly, and that's
Wow.
all. And also, that's why plants also teach you a lot about life, because like the most I've learned, everything I learned about what life is about, I've learned from babies and nature. Like just like different people are not a monolith, some plants are not a monolith. Some plants you have to harvest in you plant in the fall. Some plants you have to plant in the spring. So depending on what the weather is, you have to know when to do things at a certain time. So like in the fall, we did a lot of harvesting, because most of them, like they get harvested in the fall.
In the fall.
Yeah, and then we do more of a planting in the spring, and we are starting to harvest here too in the spring too. Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna really be an earth baby, because you're gonna get your fingers in the earth.
Yeah, and I'm a Taurus too, so like,
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
You're gonna love that.
Yeah.
So what about the bugs? Girl, I don't like them
When
bugs.
I tell you, I used to be scared of bugs. And like the first time, like I saw a worm, I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I'm inconsolable. But now I'm like, oh hey y'all, and I just
You keep moving, eh?
yeah.
Oh
And
my
then
goodness.
composting, when I first started, we used to compost. Like that was my first assignment, composting, and I saw worms and stuff in that. It was stinky. Then
Yes.
it hit me real quick. Like it got me acclimated really quickly on how like these things work. Yeah.
Yes. And composting is amazing, because you see how the breakdown, it can make energy.
Yes.
Composting is just an amazing thing, and we don't use it. We sit on the toilet. We
Yes.
so used, we don't understand that everything we use can be recycled. It could be
Yes.
manufactured.
Yes.
We're so spoiled. We don't understand that. And everything has to smell good. But some of the worst things are the best things for you.
Absolutely.
The worst smells,
Absolutely.
are the best thing for you, are the best thing. So being a child of Nigeria,
yes,
northern Nigeria. So the land, is that something that's a part of you? When you were young, and your parents, are you guys like really close to the land, so it shouldn't be a problem?
Yeah. So like so growing up, I would see like my first of all, my grandmother, she was like a teacher, and she was still a farmer. Like a lot of people out here, like she was my first example of an entrepreneur. Like, yeah, she would farm and she would take her crops to the market, and she was still a teacher. Her husband was the principal, like grandfather, and he used to farm too on the side. Like everybody grew their own food. Like, so these are things I took for granted. Like, and in the back, I used to live in the village and the city. in the village, there would be like mango trees in the backyard, like banana. You can just, the soil is so rich, and
So
like, yeah, you can just like throw something in the back and come back in a few years and it'll be a whole tree. Like, and I'm like, oh, that's whatever. But now I regret. I wish I enjoyed it more because
Absolutely. Africa is people don't even
it's
understand that
amazing.
because we don't go there. But
Yeah,
it's the richest, listen, the richest nation in the world because of the soil.
yeah, the soil.
Everything is there, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and so I can understand you might throw a annihilator back there and have annihilator.
Okay. You think it's Willy Wonka?
Real talk, because and you come here and this is really a barren
Oh
country. The
yeah.
soil is very weak.
Mm.
It's not porous. You know, we got our chest like we live in the best place in the world, but if you look at the soil, it is not. You know, and so I'm sure that was a big difference for your
Mm-hmm.
parents too.
Yeah, and then one thing I did learn from working at the farm at Fox Haven is like you have to prepare the soil
You
too.
got to make it grow.
Right. You have to
Mhm.
plant. We planted like clovers, and clovers are rich in nitrogen. So we planted them intentionally, and also we planted milky oats intentionally. So that way, when they grow and they fall, and it'll provide like a covering for the plants that are gonna come up. And then the clovers are nitrogen fixing plants. So it enriches the soil and prepares them for the next season's crops. So you find ways to work around certain things, and then the composting is like one of the best composting because like my herbal mentor, she knows how to, I don't know, her soil is really good. Like the way
Yeah.
we compost the stuff is
Yes.
really rich in mycelium and everything. So, you
That's
find ways
amazing.
around it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I would love to accompany you to something like
Please
that. But
come.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would love. I hate bugs, but listen, I love I love the earth. But
Yes.
definitely, when you really see, because it's a process in America to make things grow. We see
Mm-hmm.
that why you go into our grocery stores per se,
Mm-hmm.
and you look at the vegetables. We might got 10, but go
Mm-hmm.
into an international grocery store. You might see
Mm-hmm.
500 vegetables you've never seen in your life
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
of the different soils in these countries. The soil is so rich, it's so tropical, and they have a lot of different, or they're really into farming and they're not into the sad diet, which everything is fast food. So they're
Right.
really into making the soil actually do what it's supposed to do. So we have to be mindful that even the vegetables we're eating is abbreviated
Yes.
to what the world is eating. Am I correct?
Yes. Oh, and the food, even if you eat meat, it doesn't taste like meat. It does not taste. Go to another country and you'll see what meat really tastes like. Because the chicken here, it tastes like water. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't even.
You got to eat some fowl, girl, and some
Oh
poo.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why it tastes like that. Yeah, the
Yeah.
food.
And also fowl is hard. This
Mm-hmm.
chicken is tears so soft and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. We don't
Mhm.
know that because we haven't been exposed to that. It's
Yeah.
important for us to really look at how we're eating,
Mm-hmm.
what we're eating, and where it's coming from.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You couldn't have said it any better. Absolutely.
I
It's
don't
very
want to put you out of business because if we did that, we wouldn't be so sick. Real
right, but
talk.
that is true. We should like prevent it. Like food is medicine, and plants have pharmacologic activity. Like they really do. They have things that protect them. Like antioxidants are really to protect the plants, but we
Mhm.
use them to protect us. But like that's why. Oh, I have a tip for everyone: eat ugly food, eat ugly fruit, because the strongest like how we go to the supermarket. This is one thing that like grinds my gears. We go to the supermarket here and we want to pick the shiniest apple that looks so perfect, but that apple may be the weakest because it's treated and pumped with so many things. But if you go
Mm.
to the orchard and you see an apple that's still surviving through all the stuff that's happened to it, that is strong because it has all the stuff, all the survival chemicals in it, like all the antioxidant stuff that makes it stronger. So if you don't, basically that the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, that also applies to vegetables and fruits. So think about the stuff that they're using to protect themselves, like antioxidants, phytochemicals. All those things are going into your body because the plant used it and survived, you know. So if you,
Mm.
yeah, that's really important to like if your apple has a little dot on it. I mean, I'm not saying it's rotten, but like if it has like it's a regular imperfect, it's still
Mhm.
good because
It's still good.
it
Yeah.
survived. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? That is another thing is how we've been socialized to think,
Mhm.
and then it should look good, it should be shiny and pretty, but
Mhm.
really the one that's not that pretty is doing the fighting, and it's
Yes.
actually what you should be eating.
Yeah, because it's going into you, right? Even when it
Mhm.
comes to skincare, that's why I'm really cognizant about, like, conscious about what I use on my and Ioni products. Because, like, you don't want to put something that's comedogenic, that's going to clog your pores. If you want it to be applied every day, you want to make sure your ingredients are, like, reflective of what you want to do in it, because your skin is also an organ, and what you put on your skin goes into your bloodstream, you know. And so, and when you go to the store, they try to, like, they fill it up with a lot of stuff to make more money, because we are in a capitalistic society. But if you intentionally but, like, also on another hand, the ones that do have good products in it, they charge a high price. So that's why I want the middle ground. Good products.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So.
And that makes important because listen, your skin is the largest organ on thy body.
Mm-hmm.
It is everywhere. It is under your hair and
Mm-hmm.
under your feet. So it's the whole body.
Mm-hmm.
And what you put on it, what you step in, what you put in your hair goes in your bloodstream.
It goes right in your bloodstream. It does.
And
It
we
really
have to know that. You know, people say, oh, I'm just going to put this stuff on. Listen, that's going inside. It's not staying on the outside.
It's going in there. It's going in your blood. Yeah.
Because it has all these little openings that you can't see.
Yeah, it's porous, because that's why you sweat. Like, the sweat comes out from somewhere. Like,
It's got to come out, right?
Yeah.
And so it's taking it in too. And also where your environment where you are, like if you're in a nasty environment, your skin is there. You know, if you're in an environment with a lot of stuff, it's going in, it's touching your skin. It is going inside. Yeah. So we have to be careful and cognizant, because we live life like but COVID has changed the game.
It sure does.
Everybody is like, oh, what is that? And they don't want to touch this. I was in Whole Foods today getting me some fish, and the guy didn't have no gloves. I said, sir. Because I only eat certain fish. They gotta be fished. I don't even eat farm. I don't want to hear nothing about wild, nothing of that. If it's don't have fish, I don't want it. So I'm paying money for sea bass because it's gotta be fish. It's expensive, and you gonna put your hands on it, bruh. You better get them gloves. I told them, get them gloves. I mean, and that's COVID. I would have never did that, you know. But that's what we are, is we have to be secure about what goes. Even though I'm going to wash the heck out of that fish, I don't want him touching it without. Obviously. I don't know where his hands been.
Right.
So we have to be real careful.
Right.
And we touch everything, and it goes everywhere. You know, that's why kids got so much colds, that they touch everything and suck on everything. And so all right, moving back to the business.
Okay.
What do you want to do next with, like, your skincare line? What is it? Do you want to treat modalities like eczema and all of these kind of skin condition, alopecia, or do you want to particularly like present it in a store? What is your goal with your skin line?
Okay, so funny you said that, because eczema and alopecia are right along that's my trajectory right now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So with eczema, I do have I have something for eczema already, but I want to develop more things for eczema, because there are different types of eczema. There's atopic dermatitis, there's eczema on your hands, there's eczema on your hair. Like, there's so many different types of eczema, which should be approached and treated differently. And I do have one thing, a soapbox, because like when we go to when we go to our doctors don't have that much time. Like, physicians don't have that much time to treat patients, so they will just throw steroids at like, that's like the first line, steroids. And steroids, you can't use them chronically, you know. And then I also feel like eczema is an internal issue. It's like an inside thing that's manifest outside, you know. Like,
and diet has a lot to do with.
I was about to say
eczema.
That. Yes.
Food, eczema is a food issue. Stop eating trash.
Yeah. And then also that's why so I want to approach the reason I'm saying that I want to approach eczema from different avenues. Topically, when it comes to like treating the symptoms, you treat eczema topically by just addressing the symptoms. You're not really treating eczema, you're treating the symptoms of eczema, which is the itchiness that's associated with, like, let's say the type of eczema is atopic dermatitis, which is like the main like the main eczema, like most people have, like the dermatitis. So you just you make it so it's not itchy anymore, but the underlying eczema is still there. So I'm coming out with certain teas and certain ways to, like, and then hopefully one day I'll be available as a consultant my dream for Ione Wellness is to have my own farm, right? So
Wow.
imagine having a farm, like having a farm that you go in and there's an apothecary there, and then you just visit for like a weekend, and you tell me what
And you've
your
been healed. You're gonna be the medicine
right,
woman.
right, like
The
that, and then
black medicine woman. Yes,
right,
sir.
we'll go through your medicines, and then we'll think of like look through certain herbs that can like work synergistically with the medicine, because herbs can speed up or slow down the way drugs are absorbed in your body. Like St.
Mm-hmm.
John's wort can like decrease like the amount of drugs in your body because it's an inducer. So
Yes.
like knowing all of that, knowing all of that, and then having the time to look through your medicines, because some people have different doctors. They have nephrologists, they have cardiologists, and they
Yes.
don't talk to each other. Once you have your list of drugs, and I know about the drugs and the herbs, we can come do some medication therapy management there.
I
And
love that. That's
that's
like drug therapy. Like you go through, you list what you have, and then you see first of all your biology, your body, and what your body does, and then you break
mm-hmm,
down, and then you give the right herbs to deal with that.
mm-hmm,
Ah,
right.
that's
That's my
next
goal
level,
for
sis.
Ione. Right, that's my goal. That's my ultimate goal for Ione. Like that's what I want for Ione. But until now, I just want to serve the people. I'm not gonna say I don't really. I like the money's great, but the Ione is deeper than the money, because
Mhm.
like the money is gonna come. I'm privileged to be at a place where I'm a professional. I have a job on the side. I work in a
Mhm.
hospital. So I'm okay with that. But so that's why it's more of a passion project. And I feel like I decided within my spirit that if I continue doing it for the greater good, the funds will come. And I don't want it to be where I'm not having fun. Like I want to have fun with this. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know,
yeah,
when I see you vending, you having fun, sis.
I am having fun.
Yes, you are having fun. You dancing. I said, "Oh no, you're not kicking the, like the rug out. We dancing. I love it." So that's how it
Yes.
should be. That's how it
Yes.
should be. But I love that is next
Mhm,
level, because as Black people, we need a. It's when you
mhm,
look at medicine per se, we were never tested. We weren't in the testing facility. They didn't test us. Like if you look at the BMI
mhm.
index, that was done with white
Yeah.
men in the 70s, and they're still using
Mhm.
it. And
Yeah.
how many different bodies have come through the world since that, but
Yeah.
there's still the BMI was set on a white male body. That is nothing
Mhm.
to a Black girl with some meat. You know how we do,
Right.
son? How you gonna BMI a
Mhm.
white male on a Black woman with meat? No, sir.
And then we'll be labeled obese, but no, we just thick.
We is just stacked. Get it right, bruh.
We just thick.
That meat is
That's
good
all
meat.
I'm
That's some good meat, sis.
right. Right.
Yeah, so
You know?
when you look at medicine, it
Mhm.
has that problem where we don't have a place in when they're actually making decisions for medicine,
Yeah,
and
because of the
making
way they make
make
the decisions. Yeah.
exactly when they're having these trials. There's not a
Mhm.
lot of African Americans or Africans present. So with you
Mhm.
doing that, it really gets into who we are, our
Mhm.
our genetics, and
Mhm.
what exactly works for us, even though we're not the same neither
Yeah,
within
no one's
ourselves.
gonna look. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, we're so broken down, and so so we need something. I think that would be amazing. And I know you won't just treat Black people, but I know I'm
Yeah.
gonna have my little Black face up in there like, huh.
And then there's a thing, like even like when we do tea tastings at the farm, like
Wait,
everyone
wait,
will
wait,
give.
wait, wait, wait. What's the tea tasting? Wait a minute.
Oh, okay. So tea tasting. Okay, so part of the internship and part of like the some activities we have during the CSA and apothecary meetings there,
Okay.
is we have blind tea tasting. So so what we do is we don't the audience doesn't know what herb they're tasting, and usually it's a single herb. Like let's say it'll be, let's say tulsi, like holy basil, like basil, right?
Uh-huh.
And then the person makes the tea, like steeps the tea using the herbs that we harvested, and then we just sit. We sit down. We're present with ourselves. We like bring ourselves down to baseline, and then we look at the tea. We try to see, is it viscous? What color is it? Try to analyze the tea, kind of
Mm-hmm.
like wine tasting. And then
Yeah.
we drink it, and we just sit within and see where it goes in our bodies, and then that really works. Like So some people like, okay, let's say passion flower. Passion flower is supposed to calm people down. Usually that's the main thing it does. But some people, it makes people like antsy. So it all depends on who you are. So, like that gives you autonomy over your body. And like, okay, passion flower may not work for me. So if I'm
Yes.
looking for a nervine, I will not go to passion flower. Maybe I'll go to milky oats, or maybe I'll go somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Well, I understand what you're saying. Is that
Yeah.
open to regular people or just the people on the farm? How does the tea tasting work?
So we do it as part of internship, but they have different events there.
Mhm.
If you go on their Eventbrite, sometimes they have tea tasting events there, and also like at the CSA, the community supported agriculture. If you sign up for the CSA during CSA meetings, sometimes we have tea tastings there as well. So yeah, it's all like, and then they're always looking for volunteers all the time. Anyone's like welcome. Just it's like
Yeah,
very open.
I'm very interested in that.
Yeah,
That is amazing because you
yeah.
can really see how the herb works on you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Then you really
Mm-hmm.
have like a basis. Like this is how it works in my body.
Mm-hmm. And that's
You
why
know?
that's how I was able to make the teas, because now I'm coming out with tea lines, and
Okay.
like using tea tasting, I'm getting more of an experience of it. Like, oh, if I mix this with this, it'll boost the this up, because I have a tea for sleep, like called Lucid Dreams, and I have mugwort in it. I have blue lotus flower, and things like that. So to boost up the
Yeah,
like
don't be
the
telling people your formula says. Wait a minute. Hold up. Don't be
oh,
telling nobody.
I mean that's a list of ingredients. Oh yeah, I
Watch
feel
it.
like knowledge should be free anyway. I
Yeah.
mean,
But they
like
can do it themselves. But I understand what you're
yeah,
saying. Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
but like that's why I like it, like because learning, going to work, learning.
Hmm.
I'm always reading. I'm okay with that. Like I love reading, learning new stuff. I'm always finding out new ways to do things, and then part of that is help. That's what's helping my business out, because I'm
Yes.
always plastic. I want to stay plastic, and that's how, like I know that's how you keep your brain. Your brain doesn't stop growing, like you have to keep learning so it stays
Yes.
plastic,
Yes.
right?
You got to fight Alzheimer's and all of these. You got to
Yeah.
keep this thing moving. So you got to
Mm-hmm.
keep stimulating it.
Right.
You
Keep your
know.
mileage sheet coated. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. You got to keep using your brain because it
Yeah.
continues. They say we hardly use any of it in a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
It has the capacity to do so much, and we're not even using it to its biggest ability.
I think people in the olden days use more of their
Yep.
brains. Because I was one time I was hiking in Peru, and I was
Mm.
talking, and I was on we were in Machu Picchu, and I was looking, and I was like, why? How do they like do all of this stuff, in Machu Picchu? Because like the wood, like the stones were so huge. And then the guy, one of the guys, he's a local there, and he was telling me that like he thinks back then people use more of their brains. But right now we're programmed to be distracted. Like
Yes.
people think for us. We have GPS. Like if you notice one day, if you stop using GPS for one day and just try to like think about things, you'll feel your brain like wires going right back. Like, oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like I remember when I was young, I remembered phone numbers. Ask me a phone number.
Yes.
Ask me 2 phone numbers. I don't know them.
I hardly don't mind. Like,
They asked me and I get my own number mixed up. But we used to have to remember phone
Yeah.
numbers. So you
And
remember your
sometimes
whole family's phone number. You knew
yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
now we don't have that capacity. And our brain can still do it, but we got this thing is making us so dumb.
Yeah. It really is. It
It
really
really,
is.
they call it smartphone because it keeps us from actually, it does everything and we're dependent on it.
Right. That's why it's a smartphone.
Let me tell you, sis, I will leave my purse and say, oh, okay, let me leave my phone. I would turn around from no in
I
the
do too.
everybody's like that.
Yeah.
Nobody leaving their phone. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
So that's
One
our
day my goal
program.
is to be remote though, really like off the grid a little bit. Because we're
Mhm.
never fully off, but like one day I don't want to like be so dependent on my phone, like
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, depending on anything, because
mhm,
just like COVID, when it came through, we didn't know how to grow any food.
mhm,
The supermarkets, if it didn't open, we would have been hungry.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's scary. We
it
got
really
to
is.
look at being resourceful because
Mhm,
these leaders are making decisions per se that
mhm,
don't have anything to do with us.
at
And
all.
then we're caught in limbo.
Mhm.
And we don't know how to
As a
grow
people,
anything. We don't understand herbs. We don't understand
mhm,
medicine. We don't understand anything.
yeah. and it's so easy to learn it. Like, one good thing about the smartphones now and technology and globalization is that knowledge is more accessible than it was before. So, like, so technology per se is not that bad if you use it intentionally. But if you're not using it, it's using you. So you just have to figure out, what do you want to do? Do you want to be the product, or do you want to use it? Like, because if you're not using it, you're being used. Yeah.
That is so true. And what I do like is the agency it gives you to access so many different things. And we did not have that. And we're able to connect with people that we would not be able to connect with.
Like you, I met you at the Black Mall because I found that the Black Mall through Instagram.
Yep.
And that's how I was able to.
I would never found you.
Likewise, yeah.
And it's so amazing. I live downtown. You can be in the studios downtown, not far from University of Maryland, but I would never probably cross paths.
Yeah, or we would have walked past each other on the street, like.
That's true. That's true. I am just so excited about what you're doing with herbs. And I know your background, you're going to be amazing. See, you look at a lot of people making skincare and making butters. They don't have the chemical background. They don't understand the science of what you can do with herbs and apply it with chemicals too, and slow down the chemical. And they don't understand that because they don't have that background. Right. I'm excited about your background when it comes to skincare.
Thank you. And then one time, and I don't want to like knock anyone's stuff. Sometimes I looked at some ingredients and I'm wondering, like, I don't think they knew, like, because sometimes people mix water-based ingredients with oils and don't have preservatives, and it's just like, ooh, like,
and it's not absorbing. It's just on your skin, and you wiping it on everything else. It never goes on your inside of your pores because it's water-based.
Yeah, exactly.
You're sweating it off. It never absorbs. So you have to have that vegetable glycerin, or so you gotta have something that.
Draws up, right. Because we were just sitting there just talking about, and that's why it was such an honor for you or someone like you to like. You bought my product. I was like, oh my
God. I'm so sad I don't have it right in front of me. I want to show people. I want to show people the container and how it looks. And this stuff is amazing. We got a question for you. Okay. My boy, brother Jenk, he has eczema on his hands. And he says no topicals work. And he says his hands are always in water. For obvious reason, he wants to know what body oils or what he can use. And you need to go to IyaniWellness.com to check out her products. But tell him what he can do with this eczema.
Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, the type of eczema he has is called like this something hydrandic or something eczema, and it affects your. And the thing is, it doesn't. The products don't stay on your skin so much because you always have to wash your hands and do things with his hands. So what he would want to do is use a product that has water, that has some sort of water base, not oils, not just oils. It can have oil and water, but mostly water because you want the moisture to go in. You want it to go into your skin. If it's oils, it won't really like go soak into your skin like that. It won't hydrate your skin. Only water really hydrates, right? So so you would need some water, like a water soluble something, or water itself. Like I wouldn't incorporate that. I wouldn't do just straight oils. I wouldn't do straight butters because I would want a formulation that has water and oil. And I would do the water part or it can use two options. Like in my store, I have the eczema lotion and I had the eczema butter, but because it's hot, I'm reformulating it. So but it's coming up soon. It's called the Dream Cream.
And that's on your website?
Yes, it's coming. It's not up yet, but it's gonna be up within a week. But the eczema lotion is on my website. And it's done well. People like it. They say it feels like their skin is drinking water. That's what they say it feels like.
And that's what you need for eczema.
Yeah,
that's exactly what you need. Listen, guys, if you look at the ticker, I have her website, so it's going to come on by until we leave. Make sure you write it down. Support this sister. Listen, we got to big her up because she got to start this apothecary so we can come out there and she can treat our stuff right there. You know what I'm saying? We got to have a Black medicine woman. That's what I'm talking about. So we have to support you, and so go on to Ayoni, AYONI wellness.com. Check out her products. But you said for eczema, it's you have an eczema oil and you have something coming. The Dream Queen is coming out.
Dream cream. Yeah.
Okay.
So like what I would recommend is that the right now that I have on my website for the eczema that he has, I would say try the shea and oats. The shea and oats lotion. It's for it's like it's a lotion, water based, but it has I put some good stuff in there. And
Okay.
then you can put the butters on top, but use something that has, and the consistency is good. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. So it like it's good to go soak right into your skin. I just shipped one out this today. That's how I sell it a lot.
So shea and oat.
Yeah, it's called shea plus oats. Yeah.
Okay.
The thing about it, fun fact about that, I use colloidal oatmeal. Aveeno is named after Avena sativa, and Aveeno is they use 1% colloidal oatmeal. In my lotion, I use 5%. So that's gonna really help with the soothing of the symptoms of eczema.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, I would recommend that, or just email me at drog@ioniwellness.com.
Let me write that in the
Yeah,
comments. Dr. OG
at Ioni Wellness.
Okay. So this guys, I'm putting it in the comments so you can email her and talk to her. But you got to buy a product. If you emailing somebody, buy the damn products. Get on my nerves. So I mean, because listen, if we don't do this with you, we got to do it with somebody.
Absolutely, yeah.
Be clear.
It's for the culture. I really actually do care. Like
yes, be clear that eczema is going to need some treatment. You better do it with some. You're going to do it with somebody. So do it with somebody who looks like you and understands you. You know, so that's what I'm saying. And she, you know, she's doing this, and she has a background in science. That is the perfect marriage. You're so. Brother Jenks said, "Thank you much" with 4 H's. So he's happy. He about to get his oat and shea. Yeah, so get that oat and shea, Brother Jenk. But I'm so happy that you were able to help someone. That's what we hear.
It makes me so happy.
Yeah. So, and listen, I got a brother Dennis. He has a wellness center. He wants to carry your product. So I'm gonna hook you guys. Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna need 5%. Wait a minute.
We got you, story.
Listen, but I am going to hook you guys. I don't need anything. I'm going to hook you guys up so you guys can talk. But he does have a wellness center, and that's a beautiful thing. This is what we do in BlaKBoXX. We bring it all together. So I would love for you guys to talk. And you know, he's a giant in our community. So Brother Dennis will definitely hook you up. So that's a great thing. Here we go. See,
thank you.
We selling. It's like selling drugs out here.
I know, right?
So that's good. But so you know what you're doing, your chemistry, you're doing your pharmacy, and you're doing a yoni. You need to let me hold something, Dr. O. I know you got some bucks. You gotta let me hold something. You doing
I got you. You gotta let me hold something too. Look at how many BlaKBoXX is always on point with the branding.
Listen, we are trying to grow.
Brandon,
this is my 3rd year. September will be 3 years.
Wow.
So we're really trying to grow out here.
Yeah.
But Black people are so amazing. And just like you are so amazing. We need a space where we could talk about how amazing we are. You know, your connection today with Brother Jenk and helping him out and Brother Dennis, that wouldn't come if we didn't have a place to talk.
Right.
Absolutely. You know, so it's very important that we support me, thank you, but definitely support you too. Because you know, I'm gonna need something. Something I'm gonna need. You know what women have a lot. You know what women have as we get older, we have some hair loss.
Yes.
So that's something, and it's not really alopecia. It's we've permed and coiled and stretched our hair follicle that is tired.
Yes, I have something called it's called heritage. So the reason why it's called heritage is the slang is growth begins at the roots. So heritage is intent. Like I have the ingredients I have in here. I have ingredients from traditional Chinese medicine. I have ingredients from Western and my own country. You know, things like that, like West Africa type of vibes, and even like. After reading a lot of research, and I know you know about reading the scientific literature and trying to look through the PubMed and all that stuff to trying to find out all these herbs. Yeah, I finally found the thing I want. I just it's for I have 2. One is already out. It's called the elixir for men. It's herbs that target DHT, dihydrotestosterone.
Mm-hmm.
To help facilitate follicle stimulation.
Yep.
But it also can work for women. But I intentionally created it for men because it has DHT blocking herbs in there,
Mm-hmm.
like ginkgo, saw, palmetto, things like that. And then for the heritage, I'm using more Ayurvedic, more African, more TCM, which is traditional Chinese medicine. Those are the herbs that I'm focusing on when it comes to heritage growth oil. It's gonna be the lock spray that I have. I have the lock spray, I have the hair oil, and then the it's called heroin. The cream, the hair cream is called heroin.
I
But
love it.
yeah. Well, yeah, those are all intentionally formulated to like help with like what you were mentioning, like hormonal hair loss, even at post childbirth. Like
Yep.
those will cause hormonal hair loss. So I want materials that are easy enough to go inside it's basically for your scalp because so it can stimulate your blood circulation so you can make your
In
hair
that
grow.
follicle.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and that's a big thing with women, and
Hmm.
all ages,
Hmm.
and how and sometimes our edges and how we braid
Yeah.
our hair. And
Hmm.
so it's important to, so you have an oil like that, that's amazing. So I'm gonna look for that too. I'm gonna need some of that heritage for sure.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
send you a full size sample just for you. Like I'll send you the whole set for you.
I appreciate that. Don't
Just for
make me
you
dance. Don't make me dance on camera now. Stop it.
too.
So I
You
appreciate
can
that.
see
But
yourself, yeah.
I'm so glad that you're looking at the issues that we're having in our community
Mhm.
and then creating something around it that has real sourced herbs. You know what's in
Yeah.
it, you know
Mhm.
what you put in it, and you know what it's going to do.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
and where do we get that from? I'm so glad I met you. I knew, you know what, when I saw you, I said, does she have a lab coat on? What is going
Yes.
I
I
didn't know.
feel
I said,
good.
wait a minute. I wear them. And so I was just
Mhm.
like, she has on a lab coat. I'm got to see what she's doing. And I am so glad that I came back and looked because listen, this is particularly what I know so many people doing products. And I'm not saying they're not doing a good job.
Mhm.
I'm saying that when you have that scientific background, your
Mhm.
products have to be fire.
Right. And then that's my name on it. Like that's why
Yes.
I'm branding it with my name on it. So it makes me want to like even do but I'm also a perfectionist.
Are
Like,
you?
yes. You know how analytical people are, and
Yes.
but
It got to
especially
be perfect.
yeah, especially if you're
Yeah.
a creative. But you seem like a person who is also a creative, so your brain is working on both sides, like depending on what situation it is. So you're like
Yeah,
type
that's
A
true.
or type yeah, like depends. So yeah, I know, I understand. I'm like that, like, and it's like it's a gift and a curse because you're never fully satisfied with something. You just want to
That's
tweak
so
it a
true.
little, yeah.
That
So
is so
that's
true.
how. That's what.
Listen, that's so true. I just really tapped into the most. I've always been creative, but
Mhm.
I worked for a long time in my career, and
Mhm.
so I'm just tapping at these last 3 years into being creative and doing
Mhm.
things in the community. And it's like you use both sides. Like I worked yesterday,
Mhm.
science lab. I'm in the
Mhm.
microscope. I'm doing all of this stuff, and then I come today and I'm giggling, talking about products. So
Yeah,
it's like you
like
use
me
all of
too.
these
And
you
I
use all
love it.
these different parts of your brain, but listen, I don't want Alzheimer's. I don't want none of that. I want this brain to work forever.
Mhm.
So
That's
you
and
got to
it,
lighten it up.
yes, and that makes sense. You're so right, and even like it helps me when I'm inside in the hospital treating patients. My creative side helps me a lot because, for
Yep.
instance, someone came in with something called this happens when you smoke a lot of weed and you get like nauseous and stuff like that. And I'll leave y'all with a fun fact about that, how to treat that. Okay, so
Please do.
I'm not saying, oh
I'm
yeah,
sure I got a lot of people with that.
yes, and I do want to drop that in November marijuana is gonna be on the ballot for recreational use. So if
Listen,
you can
let me move my hair too.
go on
Look.
going out there and do the Lord's work and rock the vote. So what I was
She
gonna
said,
say,
"Do the Lord's work." I love it.
because
So
we
it's going to
need
be on the
this.
ballot. Really?
Yeah, for recreational use. Yes, it made it to the ballot finally. Yeah. So it's gonna be up on the ballot for November. But yeah, so it's called cannabis hyperemesis syndrome. So what happens is when you smoke a lot, or you ate a lot of edibles, and it causes some sort of like nausea and stuff like that. The reason is because cannabis has pain relieving properties, and it slows gastric motility, like it slows your stomach churning, and it slows pain signals. It's called TRPV1, TRPV1 receptors. So what you can use is a hot shower that stimulates pain receptors. Like you want the TRP, that nociception, that pain receptors to be tripping up again, so that way it works against the cannabis. So when people come into the hospital with those, like they can't stop throwing up and all that stuff, what we give them is capsaicin. I have a product on my store called Dr. OG's Flex Bomb. It has capsaicin in it. It has capsaicin in it, and the capsaicin in it is stronger than the capsaicin that's prescribed at the hospital. And in addition to that, it has menthol and herb infused stuff. So what you do is you rub it on your stomach. You rub it capsaicin, or you can get capsaicin from the store. It doesn't matter. Capsaicin is capsaicin, and you just rub it on your stomach, and when it soaks in, it'll turn off that thing. It'll turn back on that thing that causes your stomach to be churning again.
And no more nausea. Your nausea goes away.
Instead of getting like a rectal Zofran and rectal promethazine and all that stuff, you don't need you can just like take care of it yourself. But if you feel like you need to go see a physician, please see your doctor.
That's true. Yeah, you got to put that in there. You are a medical professional. You can please go see your doctor.
Yeah,
but definitely, if you're smoking a lot of weed, sit down somewhere and put some on that belly,
or just take a hot shower, go to sleep. Yeah,
that's right. Take a hot shower and chill out. And go to sleep. Yeah. And look at that. That's so easy. And you go and you get an ambulance. You get an ambulance. That's $1,500. You go into shock trauma. You go into that's $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $6,000.
Right.
You could have took a hot shower and sat down somewhere.
I'm telling you, that's what they're gonna do to you like they're gonna give you the order that's a capsaicin. They'll charge you how much more for 0.075% capsaicin cream. Cream. It's not even ointment.
Yeah, so that's a good tip. And listen, we're gonna leave that tip alone because you're not gonna lose your license on BlaKBoXX Radio.
Absolutely not, because
I am not gonna have you doing that. I need you to feed them 2 babies. Nah, you're not gonna lose that license. And another thing, you got to do one more thing before we go. This is gonna be your end. You said you had a rap.
Okay.
For one of your, you got to put it down. Let's spit it out. Come on.
Okay, so this is what reminds me. This is like, these are the top 4. These are like one of the top 4 things to treat, the top 4 difficult things to treat. And when this is a little background on it. When I used to like go to school, I didn't really go to class like that. I used to watch it on media site because I'm like, what's the point? If I'm going to watch it, I'm just like that. I was working too. So it has a word on it. It's ass. Okay, so trigger warning. So it goes like this. All I want to, it's like kind of a song. All I want to do is pass. The rest of y'all can kiss my ass. When there's blackboard and media site, why do we have to go to class? Because they want to see our faces. That's why they give us cases. I steal my lightest, endocarditis, bacillus, and faces. That's how I remember it.
Wow. So you would put everything into like a song.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I have a lot, like different. That's the one I remember. Yeah, those are the 4, like osteomyelitis, endocarditis, bacillus anthracis. Oh, the 3. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? And that's why I know music is so therapeutic for everything. And children can learn through music, and because it's something that you can put everything in, and they just get a beat to it, and they're gonna learn it.
And that's how my technicians, they know a lot about stuff now. Because like when I'm like, do you know why we're using this? We're using this as this. Because it's like, like it's just like that. Like that's how they like, oh yeah, as he said, we're going to do this like this. That's how they're
learning. Look at that.
Yeah, that's how I learned. Yeah.
Amazing. Listen, Dr. E.
Yeah.
You are amazing.
Wow. I'm honored.
I just want you to know you are amazing. Wow. I appreciate having you. I can't believe we've been on for an hour.
Wow, I know, right? I am so honored to be here. I can't even believe I'm even here for real. Like,
oh, you here? You coming back too? Shut your mouth. You coming back? Sure. We about to heal some black bodies. Yanni Wellness gonna be popping when I'm done with it. Sure. You coming back? Because listen, I want you to come back with my ladies. We gotta talk about fibroids.
Ooh, yes, because I used to have fibroids.
We gonna talk. We gonna talk. That's the number one problem for Black women, and we're gonna delve into that because first of all, we know all of these things about fibroids, but we can talk about it from a modality of healing it, your diet, all of that. So I've had them, so we're gonna talk about that. So you coming back?
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about that because I have a lot to say.
Okay, and I'm gonna have some women. We're gonna talk. We're definitely gonna talk about that. Listen, we are here. We want to talk about things that are problems in our bodies, in our lives. And eczema, as small as eczema, it worries people to death. That itching is driving people crazy.
Yes.
And it really is. I know someone who is driving her crazy. And then it pops up on different parts of her body. I'm like, wow. I've never had anything, but it's isn't it a neurology? It's
neurological.
It's neurological, right? Is it?
No, I don't think it's in your.
It isn't.
Like I feel like it's more like I know what you're trying to do there. You're trying to say like it has something to do with not like immune, not like your brain.
Not immune, but like it's something is triggering it. To me,
yes.
It's a
neurological
trigger.
I see what you're saying, and it's
like a manifestation of problems with the neurology. To me, I don't know. I'm just saying that because how could something just come out and then go back and come? Something's triggering her,
right?
I don't know. And then some people have it all the time. Just sits on their bodies all the time.
You know how stress can cause certain things to happen, like shingles and stuff like that. Stress can out, like it lays dormant until.
That herpes, that herpes stuff. It lays dormant, it comes shingles, herpes, even like cold sores. These stuff keep coming back and something's triggering it. That you know what I'm saying? Even though it's a STD, well, that's not an STD, even though that's type 1. I won't give nobody shingles. Listen, I didn't say that it was, pardon me. I don't want nobody writing me, Dr. O. You said shingles is an STD. No, I didn't. So listen, we are so happy to have you. I thank you for coming and you gave so many tidbits to the listeners. I hope people are able to source this and come back and definitely get some good tips for their life. You gave us some tips for your life. Please give us like all of your social media, your email, your website, and we're going to close this thing out.
Okay, so thank you guys. It's been a whole honor to be here. I still can't believe I'm even here, but I really appreciate the time I spent with y'all. If you guys want to get in contact with me, please email me at drog@ioniwellness.com. My website is ioniwellness.com. Instagram, ioniwellness, no dots. But if you want to contact my personal Instagram is dr.eziaku. Eziaku. Yeah.
Okay.
Eziaku. That's it.
That's it. Listen, I can't wait for you to come back. Keep going. Listen, I want to accompany you one time to Frederick. I want to see this farm.
Please come.
Yeah. We gotta talk about that. I definitely want to check that out. Yes. We appreciate you. Thank you I know you just picked up your daughter, so you got to go do mommy duties. So you took some time with us, and we really appreciate you. Really,
wow. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. I can't wait to be back.
So bless you. And listen, we boxed up and now. Can I get some deuces? We go. Wow. Good night, guys.
Good night.
I'm going to end the broadcast. Don't go nowhere, Dr. O.